Okay, so really quickly, just wanted to go through how I cut the door. I thought the camera was recording. It wasn't. Whatever. It is what it is. So it took me about 10 minutes to do. Wasn't sure if I wanted to do rounded corners or not. What I did was, I'm planning eventually on doing an actual pre-made door. So I took the measurements and made them a little bit smaller. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but there are measurements that are about 2 inches out on everything. It looks like 4 up here, but I just moved the door down a little bit. So this is the bottom of where the other door will be, and this is the top. So the gist of this though is this door might be temporary. I gotta see if I like the way it comes out or not. So all I did was I actually used this. I put it straight on, pulled the card out of the way, got it spinning, and then slowly went in and went up and down. I had trouble down at the bottom because I accidentally put it in on a slight angle, so I ended up using Sawzall, and I went with a metal blade because it seemed to make a nicer cut than the wood blades I had. So yeah, that's why I use this. This one's just a long one because I use it to cut off pallets, but it actually worked really well. I probably should have used the Sawzall for the whole thing, but the rest came out pretty good, so I can't complain. It'll need a little bit of touch up. The door itself, the piece that I cut out is over there. If it ends up being not perfect enough with all the little bumps I made here, we may have to recut that from something else. We'll see, not too concerned. So yeah, I just wanted to go through this, how I made this door. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to finish the framing out here. I only have 2 pieces left. I think that'll be enough, we'll find out. And then I'm going to put in the first piece of interior plywood. Reason being is I want to wire before I put the top on. So yeah, I gotta decide what I'm doing with the wire. I don't have any plans yet on that either. I'm just kind of building this as I go, seeing what I like, what I don't like. And the next big step was this door, because I needed a way to get it in and out when I enclose this. The other option is on the back. That piece can be unscrewed temporarily, so that way you can get in and out that way too. If I have trouble getting some wood in and out, we may have to go that route. So we'll see. I'm not really concerned at the moment. Yeah, so I'm going to throw in these other 2 posts, and that'll probably be it for today. So let's do that real quick, and if that's it, I'll see you in the next one. If not, you might see some more. I don't know if you're wondering, I had this all measured out already where I wanted this. I'll show you now real quick. You can see the little lines. I don't know if you'll actually be able to. I have little lines like underneath everything. I just did them on the sides, measured them out, and that's where I wanted them. So don't know if this is going to be good enough or not, but I guess we'll find out. So that's that. I think it's going to be more than structurally sound, especially when you put the next layer of plywood on the inside and the outside. It's pretty good, you already shake the entire trailer when you touch it, so. Heyo. So I've been pretty busy and I haven't had much time to work on the Teardrop camper, but I did do a few things that I didn't record. First thing is, this thing went on pretty easy, the curve. It was just a lot of pushing and fighting, and I probably should have wet it down a little bit so that way it would have been easy to turn. I'm planning on puttying over all these screws that I put in it. I've made some mistakes, you know, missed things, general idiocy. But I also put up this middle piece. I ended up doubling up the beam that went across right in here. It's a little dark in here, I know, so it's going to be hard to see some of this. And then over here I took one out from the top. There was another one right in this area, and I didn't need it. And there's probably going to be a skylight right there. And I moved it down there. So that way I can hook on another piece at the end. A few things to note with this. When I did it, I did the wood on the outside, so you can see there's a little edge here, leaving 4 feet on the inside, but it ended up being a hair under 4 feet. 4 feet would have been perfect because the board would have just fit on the inside, but it wasn't exactly perfect. It was a hair under, like I said. So what I ended up doing is I ended up doing the wood the opposite direction, which it's supposed to be easier to bend that way. I don't know if that's true or not, but like I said, it wasn't super complicated to bend that. Just a lot of pressure holding things in place, yada yada. So that kind of screwed me though in the long run, because I should have made it exactly 4 feet. There's two problems with this, because it's not exactly 4 feet. I have to cut the pieces of hair under. The other thing is this outside area, since it's under 4 feet, you have to do the pieces the other direction. But for the siding I'm using on this, it doesn't matter. A few things that'll make life easier that I didn't do, and I knew to do, but I just didn't do it, is pre-drill your holes. You know, it'll make it come out nicer. I'm going to cover most of this stuff, but it's going to be covered in canvas anyway. So, yeah, so we got the door opening is actually not too bad of a size. It's okay. In here I'm going to have to get some light because it's getting dark very quick. I left this piece open, that piece open for now for light. because these are just going to take 5 minutes to put pieces up on the ends. Yeah, so one of the next things that's going to have to be done is wiring, and I have to decide what I'm doing with wiring. I should do 12-volt lights probably for most of it. There's going to be 120-volt outlets in certain places. I haven't decided exactly where, probably front and the back, maybe one up high, one low. I'm thinking maybe like putting one up there and putting a shelf under it so that you can like charge your phones. I'd like one low though, but I also need one for the air conditioner, which I gotta measure, which is going probably up there or maybe there. Haven't decided. So we'll see. Need to figure out windows. There's a ton of stuff, but figuring out what I'm gonna do for wiring probably should be done soon, because like I said, I need lights on the inside. And if I'm doing 12-volt lights, it's easy enough to hook something up to it so I can power lights while I'm working in it. But yeah, so that's it for right now. I just wanted to give you a little update. And yeah, I know these videos are kind of weird because I can't do everything and talk through most of it because a lot of it's time consuming. So my plan is to voice over most of the stuff that's just tedious, boring, run through it real quick. But I'm learning as I do this, and hopefully you get something out of it if you're planning on doing this. But yeah, so I'll see you in the next one.